Great. So yeah, I mean, tonight's session will be about writing skills, how to write skills, what are the approaches to writing, the processes, etc. Okay, great. So let's start with the first one or the first slide. Yes, the first question is for you. What is writing? What do you know about writing? Yes, this question is for all of you. Yes, Intisar. Okay, just 1 second. Let me see. Yes. Yes, please activate your mic. Yeah, there is Intel. I don't know who is. Yeah.
Is me with I don't know. Each time I'm with name, I'm with a new name here.
Yeah.
So writing is the fact of producing words or a piece of work in a written form.
So it's the art of producing. Thank you. I like the word to produce. Great. Yes, others. Yes, Muhammad.
Yes, writing is a receptive skills. It depends on producing and give the students the freedom some way,
Good.
and
That's
it focuses on fluency and accuracy.
great. So there are two key words, fluency and accuracy. And Saida said it's about producing a text. Great. So let's see here. So any volunteer to write this definition? Any volunteer? Okay. Yes, Shayma, activate your mic.
Writing is another main skill of the 4 language skills, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Writing and speaking are skills which deal with producing language more than obtaining it. Therefore, they are called productive skills. To be able to write something, we must be able to shape letters and words and connect them together to create words, sentences, or many sentences which will give out the message we need to convey. We must also have someone who we need to read them.
All right, thank you. So simply here we can say writing is one of the 4 skills. Writing is a productive skill. Okay. And writing is about how to shape letters. We start with letters A, B, C, D. Then words, the book, the school, the teacher, the boy, the girl. And then we connect them together to create word sentences. I play soccer. She plays soccer. Okay. Good. This is writing. And at the end, once you finish, there is a message that you would like to convey. Great. The next slide. Another question is for you. Why do the majority of learners find writing lessons challenging? And here I would like to put you in groups of 3s, okay, or 4s, each group of 4, 5 minutes. You discuss the obstacles, why learners find it hard to write. So let me put you in groups of 4. Just 1 second. Great. All right, so here we have Bizri, Muhammad, Shayma, Umayma, and Amal, group 1. Abdul Karim, Saida, Inas, Wafa, group 2. Halima, Khadija, Muhammad, Buziani, group 3. Okay, join the groups. Yes, Ines, can you please join the group? I guess you have a problem, Ines. Okay, thank you. So yeah, all the groups talked about some very interesting problems, like students don't have ideas, don't have enough vocab, the topic is not interesting, it's very challenging. Some of you said the spelling is one of the biggest problems students face. They don't know how to write these topics. And some of you mentioned that they don't know about the organization, how to organize their ideas. Okay, great. These are very interesting, reasons why the majority of learners find it hard. Yeah, number one, they don't know about the structure or the organization. They don't know how to start, how to proceed, and how to finish. Because when it's writing, from the very beginning, they start writing. No, it's not writing like this. Because writing has got stages, number one, number two, number three, number four, number five, etc. But the majority, when you give them a topic to write about, from the very beginning, they start writing the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. It's a problem. It's a challenge. Number two, some of them, they would like to write, but they get stuck because they don't have enough vocab. They don't know about the topic. Or some of them, they have ideas and they know about the topic and they have got vocab. And once they write, they make a lot of spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, punctuation mistakes. Okay, so these are some of the reasons or the challenges that students face. Great. Now let's move on to the next slide. So let's see here. Now, the types of writing. There are several types. So you can ask students to write a letter, formal or informal, or an email, or a report, or a film or a book review, narrative, descriptive text, argumentative and expository text, paragraph, application letter, etc. So don't all the time ask them to write paragraph, or essay, or a letter, but variety again is the spice of life. Unit number one, write an email. Unit number two, write a letter. Unit number three, write a report. Unit number four, a film review. Unit number five, a story. You narrate a story. Unit number six, argumentative essay. Number seven, etc. So vary the types of writing. Okay. Do you know other types of writing that you would like to share with us? Other types. Yes, please.
Maybe announcements. There are some kind of written announcements.
Great, Ines. So announcement. Wonderful. Yes. What do you think? Others? Wafa?
Dialogues as well.
Great. You can write a dialogue, a conversation. Yeah.
And we can even make it the upcoming for speaking. For example, we ask them to write a dialogue and we can later ask them to perform the dialogue on the stage.
Wonderful. Yes. Thank you. Very interesting. So you write a dialogue and it's like you are paving the way to the coming activity, which is speaking. Good. Muhammad Bizri.
Yes, there is maybe I don't know a narrative essay. No, it depends on the levels because the beginner we can't tell or write about a demonstrative essay or a narrative.
Yeah, of course, these are the types of writing, but when you are assigning writing, you take into account the student's level and student's age. Yes, Muhammad Bouziani, please activate your mic.
So, yeah, also there is the descriptive writing, like the writing the poetry.
Yeah, you write a poem. Good.
Yeah.
It's for advanced learners. Yes, Ines.
We can also write songs, especially for kids. We can write songs for them and help them learn the songs, so we can rely on speaking and at the same time listening and at the same time writing.
Wonderful. Yeah, writing a song. Very interesting. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Now let's practice. In the box below are given written sub-skills. So remember, when we teach the four skills, we need to know about the sub-skills, and the sub-skills will help your learners to read effectively, to speak effectively, to listen effectively, and to write effectively. Great. Now here, you have to match these. A, punctuating correctly. B, planning. C, linking. D, forming letters. E, paragraphing. F, using the appropriate layout. And G, proofreading. Good. Now, as number one, let's do it all together. Number one. Anyone to read the first one? Raise your hand. Someone to read. Any volunteer?
May I,
Yes,
sir?
Saida.
Yes.
Raise your hand into the air and use your fingers to write the word APPLE.
Apple. Great. So what do you think? Is it punctuating correctly, planning, linking, forming letters, paragraphing, or using the appropriate layout? Layout is the structure, the organization, or proofreading. What do you think? Number one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Muhammad?
So maybe punctuating correctly, A.
A.
What do you think? Punctuation correctly?
Yeah.
No, I don't share the same opinion, because if we're talking about
Yes, Wafa.
yes, if they're talking about punctuation, they will, for example, know where to put the comma, where to put the full stop.
Right.
This is the punctuation. But I guess, I'm not sure, I guess D, forming letters.
You agree with Wafa?
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I also
Thank
think
you, Wafa. Forming letters A, P, P, L, E. So apple, okay. Forming letters. So number one is D, forming letters. Okay, good. I would like now to give you 5 minutes. Work alone and complete this exercise. 5 minutes. Okay, so it's correct. Yes. Number 2, any volunteer? Yes, raise your hand.
Maybe
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I think using the appropriate layout.
So put a tick in the right place in this letter for the address of the person who will receive it and cross the correct for the date. You agree? Yes, Muhammad Bouziani. Okay, others. Amal.
I think I don't agree. I think it's paragraphing because the layout is putting the all the idea in order.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's true. It's paragraphing.
Uh-huh. What do you think, others? Is it paragraphing? Wafa.
I guess that F is the correct answer because paragraphing is when we devise a certain essay or long piece of writing into paragraphs. But here we have an appropriate place for each sentence or each one.
Anyway, there's a confusion. So let's skip number 2 and then we come back later. This text does not have any commas, full stops, or explanation point. What do you think? All of you. Muhammad.
Punctuating correctly.
Or in a punctuated correctly. You agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. A.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So it's the A. Great. Now next, number. Sorry, it's not. It's not.
It's number 3.
Number 3. Great. Let me correct it. Just 1 second. So number 3 is A. Great. Now number 4.
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you read, please?
Yeah. Select the best conjunction from this: because, while, after. Connect the sentence pairs using the conjunction that you selected. I think it's C.
You agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I also think it's because we have the word connect.
Yeah, connect, linking words. Great. Number 5. Shayma, can you read, please?
Take a look at this list of suggestions of 4 compositions. Put them in the proper order that you would write about them in your composition. So I think it's paragraphing. E.
It's E, paragraphing. You agree?
Yes, I think also it's paragraphing.
Yeah, same.
Okay, good. So it's paragraphing E. You are right. Good. So let me just write it. It's E. Number 6. Another volunteer, Halima.
Maybe it's G.
Can you read first, please?
Okay, once you have finished all your writing, go back and check it for language errors you may have made.
So what is this?
It's proofreading.
Proofreading. You agree?
Yes.
Yes. It's
yes, sir.
Proofreading. It's the last stage. Yes. So it is a G. Good. Now let's go back to number 2, which is very confusing. Put a tick in the right place in this letter for the address of the person who will receive it and cross the correct for the date. So what is this? Is it using the the appropriate layout, or it's B, planning?
Teacher.
Yes, it's Muhammad.
Is if because there is to use an appropriate layout.
Thank you.
Like will receive the address of the person, etc.
Yeah, we are talking about the layout, the place, the time, the date, the greeting, the introduction, the body, the conclusion, the signature, etc. This is what we call the layout, the organization. Okay, is it clear so far?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, when we talked about the challenges Why students find it hard to read, to write? It's not all the time about they need vocab, they need sentences, but it's about spelling mistakes, it's about punctuation, it's about they don't know the organization, it's about, I mean here, they don't know how to use the linking words like because, or they don't have enough linking words. So this is why the majority of learners find it hard. And here it's your job to help learners, to provide them with the connectors, to show them how to organize the paragraph, to help them know how to connect the paragraphs, to help them how to use the punctuation correctly. And it goes like this, step by step. Okay, great. So let me move to the next slide. Great. Now look here. We talk about two types of writing, or when we when we write, we can focus on accuracy or fluency. And here I would like some of you to explain what is fluency and what is accuracy. So let me put you in pairs just for 3 minutes, and you share your ideas, fluency and accuracy. All right, so Saida Abdel Karim, group 5, Khadija Wafa, group 4, Bisri Muhammad Shaima, group 3, Halima Muhammad Bouziani, group 2, and Ines Umayma Amal, group number 1. Yes, explain. Yes, you have 4 minutes. Yes, Saida, can you join the groups? All right. All right, thank you. So I really again enjoyed listening to each group talking about the difference between accuracy and and fluency. And most of you mentioned something very interesting. One, you have to pay attention to what you say, what you write, and the other one, you don't care, you keep going, okay? So let's see here. Accuracy, spelling must be correctly, forming letters correctly, joining letters together correctly, punctuation correctly, using correct layout, choosing the right vocab, using grammar correctly, joining sentences correctly, using paragraphs. This is accuracy. When you speak, you must be correct. When you write, you must be correct. When you read, you must be correct, etc. Everything must be correct, which means that you focus and you pay attention. Now, fluency or communication ideas. We can call it in writing, we can name it communicating ideas. Okay, so using appropriate style and register, organizing ideas in a helpful way, joining words and sentences clearly, using appropriate function like meaning such as narrating, requesting, or complaining. Which means when we talk about fluency or communicate ideas, you have a good or you use a appropriate style and register. You know how to use the formal, informal, hey, hi, hello, I'm gonna, I go, or I'm going to go, etc. Okay. And organizing ideas in a helpful way. You know how to organize your idea. You start with the cause, then the effects, introduction, then you move to the body, then the conclusion. Okay. And you know how to join words and sentences clearly. Okay, etc. Great. So let's see here now the writing strategies, or we can also name them the stages. Okay, number one, when you teach writing, students should not write. Students should not write. It's not writing. Remember when we talked about reading, what is not reading is when you ask your students from the very beginning, open your books, page 9, exercise 2, read the text. This is not reading. Here you kill the skill of reading. The same for writing. Students, the first time you give them a topic, they start writing. No, number one, generating topics through pre-writing activities. So number one, they have to think and think. It's a kind of brainstorming. So the topic is about your favorite hobbies. So think. I like this hobby because it's nice. I don't like this hobby because it's dangerous. My favorite hobby on the weekend is this brainstorming. Write as many sentences as you can. Just write. Don't care. Okay. Any question for the first one, generation ideas?
No.
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 No, it's
Right.
clear.
Now, you give the topic about brain drain. Good. Students start writing. No, don't write. Brainstorming, just write as many. Brainstorming is not good for the developing countries or the homeland. Brain drain is very helpful for, the host countries. They talk about a lot of sentences they write. And then the next stage is the planning. They have to organize the sentences about causes and the sentences about effects. It is right. This is how we brainstorm, how we generate ideas. Number two, B, making the purpose. What's the purpose of writing? Is it to inform, to narrate, to communicate, to write about cause and effect? Is it formal or informal? So you have to know about the purpose, and students should know about the purpose. And C, another strategy is writing a draft or the first draft. When you write the first draft, you just write. Don't care about mistakes, just write. It's okay. So writing a first draft with the necessary components of a specific genre. And after you write the first paragraph and you don't care about mistakes, now you have to care about what you are writing. We call it revising. So the first draft content. You pay attention to the organization, relevant ideas, clarity, etc. And then we have editing. Here you can put students in pairs, exchange your writing, correct each other. they revise and they correct. They can use a dictionary for spelling mistakes, glossary, grammar reference, etc. And F is the proofreading, which means now they have to rewrite again and they have to correct the mistakes they wrote before. So proofreading, the revised draft individually or in pairs or groups. And the last one, you present the final product. You give your teacher the writing, or you read it for your teacher, or you read it for the whole group. So these are some strategies, and these strategies are taken from English language guidelines Morocco. So number one, generate ideas. What's the purpose? Write the first draft, revise your writing, correct editing, proofreading, and then you present. These are just strategies. But the most important is to know about the stages. Here, these are the stages, and I'm going to explain them, and then we can implement. I'm going to give you a topic later, and then we are going to implement. So number one is planning. Remember, the first stage is planning. And in planning, there are two steps. Number one, brainstorming, generating, developing ideas. Remember, let's go back to the topic of brain drain. Good. So let's start with planning. So here, I'm going to write this one. So let me just write. This is the topic. Are you following me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Why do Moroccan students or Moroccan people prefer to, to live there, to immigrate to Europe. Okay, so write an essay about it. Great. So it's the topic. Why do Moroccan people prefer to immigrate to Europe? Write an essay about it. Good. So what's the first step we talked about? The first step, you remember? Number one, what is it?
Planning.
Planning. And planning, we can have two. Number one is, we can call it brainstorming. Brainstorming, great. So let's write A is brainstorming, and B is organizing.
Making purpose.
Organizing, or these are the stages. Organizing. Great. Now I'm going to put my learners in groups of 4 or in pairs, and I'm going to give them 7 minutes. I will tell them to write just sentences. Write as many words as you can about why do Moroccan people prefer to immigrate to Europe. Great. Can you give me some ideas? Yeah, now we are brainstorming. Give me any word, any sentence. Yes.
Poverty.
Better
Poverty.
salaries.
So
Poverty.
they travel due to poverty. Good. Others?
Better
Yes,
condition
sir.
and better
To
salaries.
make a good living.
They
A good life.
travel, thanks to the better living conditions. Great. Others? Yeah. Can you write?
More job opportunities.
More job opportunities. Okay, let me just write it here. There are more job. Great. Yes. Others.
High quality education.
High Yeah, remember yeah, high quality education. So here we are talking only about the causes. Yes, great. What else?
More respect and freedom.
Sorry?
More respect and freedom.
More respect and freedom.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Equality there.
Equality.
Like there is no racism. I don't know.
Okay, just 1 second. So more respect and liberty. Yes, another one is please.
They get out from
No,
their
Muhammad,
comfort zone.
go back to
So
Muhammad.
new experience.
Let me go back to Muhammad's idea.
Yes, sir. For I said for equality.
There is equality.
Yeah.
Great. Yes. Shayma.
I said they try to get out of their comfort zone. So a new experience, a new journey.
For a new experience. Good. Others.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like escape from the war.
Oh, good. Yeah. Escape from wars.
Escape also climate change. There are people who immigrate because of climate change.
Tough extreme weather. Okay.
Yes.
Teacher.
So they great. Can we say natural disasters now? Due to.
Oh yes, yes, true. Yes.
Due to natural. Yeah. What else?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
To help their parents.
Financial or yes, to help their parents. Great.
Financial support.
Yeah. I think, sir, for safety. Did we mention it?
Safety. Good. All right. Thank you. Good. Now, as you see here, this is what? This is what is this?
Brainstorming. Brainstorming.
This is brainstorming. Now, students worked together and they wrote 20 ideas, 10 ideas, 17 ideas. Are they all of them to include them in writing? Yes or no?
No.
No.
No. Of course, no. The second step in the first stage is organizing. So look here, we are going to organize. So here, we are going to organize. And here the teacher will help the learners to organize like this. Look here. So this is one, and this is one. Okay. So now organizing ideas. And we can have two types of ideas. Look here. We can have, and here teachers should help their, we can have, for example, pull factors. And here,
push factors.
Push factors. Push factors. And here you can help the teacher, or sorry, the learners. You can say the pull factors, are they positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. They pull you, they attract you to go. And the push factors, positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. So they push you to leave. Great. Now, students, I'm gonna give them again 5 minutes to organize their ideas. Why? Because in the body, they have to write how many paragraphs?
3, I guess, right? No, 1 paragraph or 1 paragraph? Because there are essays that contain
they write
5
2. In the body, they write 2. 1 for pull and 1 for?
Yes, one for push, yes, true.
Good. Now, I want you to organize. They travel due to poverty. What do you think? Is push or pull?
Push factor. Push factor.
So students, they write here,
Poverty.
they travel
Or
Due to poverty. They have to organize. Good. Now, they travel thanks to better living conditions.
pull
Factors.
Yeah, they immigrate thanks to what?
To better living conditions.
Okay. Living conditions. Great. And here you have to tell your learners that 3 ideas or 2 ideas are enough because they have to develop them later. Okay. Is it clear now about planning, brainstorming, then organize? Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Good. Because up to now they haven't started writing. They haven't started writing. They are still brainstorming and organizing ideas. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Great. Now let's move to the second stage. Let me clean. Can I clean the board?
Yes, sir.
Or not
Yeah.
yet?
Yes, yes.
You can take a picture quickly if you wanna discuss later. Okay. All right. So let me share again. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Now, stage number 2 is drafting. Drafting, which means that students now, they have to combine the pull factors, the push factor, and to start writing a paragraph or an essay. We call it the first draft. They don't care. Good. But in this stage, the teacher's job is to provide learners with what? With connectors. Linking is one of the sub skills. So let's go back to the whiteboard. Remember, drafting means the first paragraph, the first writing, the fast writing. So let me go back to the screen. Do you see now here?
Yes.
Great. Good. Now, here I'm going to provide learners with the linking words. Here, I'm going just to have a space on the board and then connectors. Good. So in this writing, what kind of connectors do we need? All of you, what do you think?
There are a lot.
Conjunctions of coordination.
Yeah, but what kind? Is it cause, effect, addition? What do you think?
Cause effect. Cause and effect.
Yeah, basically cause and effect. Great. So cause, effect. Good. Then you give them some, like what? Due.
Due to.
Because.
Yes.
Because
Due to.
As a result of.
To. What
Because.
else?
Because of.
Good. Because of.
As a result of.
Because of. So these are causes or effects.
Yes. This is causes because of due to causes.
Because, etc. And don't bombard them with a lot of linking words. Just some. Due to, thanks to, because of, because. Good. Then you move to the effect. What are
As a
connectors?
result.
Consequently.
A result.
As a consequence.
Consequently. Or as a consequence. Or so.
So that.
Yeah, or hence.
Hence. Therefore.
Good. And if you would like to clarify more, you can put them into contact. Due to poverty, they travel, they immigrate, etc. Good. Now, you tell students work in pairs, work in groups. Now you have 10 minutes. I want you to write, or you have, 20 minutes. You have to write 2 paragraphs. One paragraph is about pull factors, and one paragraph is about push factors. And they start writing. Here, are they going to care about mistakes?
No, they're just drafting.
Thank
No,
you.
it's just a draft.
Good. So let me write here. I'm gonna clean this one. So we finish with planning and this one. Good. So this is number 2. So stage number 2 is, we said?
Draft. It's this
Yes.
now.
Yeah, drafting, or we can call it first draft.
Yeah.
And here students are going to write like this, for example, some people immigrate because of
Poverty.
yes, or
The lack of
thanks to the better living
Conditions in
conditions. Sorry if there's any typing mistakes there. Good. Some people immigrate thanks to the better living conditions. And they start writing. They travel because, just like beginners or intermediate students, because in Europe they give them high salaries. Okay, etc. And they keep writing. Okay, good. So they are writing. So what do we call this? This is the first
draft.
First paragraph.
Thank you. Now they are working in pairs and they are writing. But at the same time, you shed light on the connectors. For example, for instance, because, due to, tell them that I'm going to give +1 for connectors because they are very important. Great. Now they finish with stage number 2. Good. Now let's move on to stage number 3. Good. Stage number 3 is editing. Okay, here they have to edit, redrafting and proofreading. So let's go back to edit. What do we mean by editing? Look here. So stage number 3. Okay, do you see my whiteboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
So stage number 3 is editing. I'm gonna write it here. So number 3 is editing. Good. And here I'm going to tell my learners, because they are working in pairs, they have to exchange. For example, group B, C, D, and E. Group B will give their writing to group A to group B, and group B to A, and C to D, and D to A. They have to exchange their writing for what? For editing. They have to correct each other. So here, students exchange their writing for correction. They have to correct each other. You see? Or if they write individually, then they can exchange, they swap their writing. Underline if there is any mistake. And they correct each other and they discuss. And your job as a teacher is to monitor if they need help. Is this clear?
Yes.
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 All right. Now, once they correct each other, what they have to do? We can call it
redraft.
Thank you. So number 4 is redrafting. They have to write again. They have to write these things correctly. Okay, redrafting. And here we can call it redrafting and proofreading at the same time. Proofreading. They have to open their dictionaries and to make sure if there are still other mistakes or not. Good. Once they finish, the last stage is, we call it the final. It's number 5. The final draft. What does it mean, the final draft? You present your product. The final draft means students submit their products, or read it out loud. Sorry. Read it out loud for the whole class. Okay. Is this clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.
Good.
Yes.
This is how we teach writing. Writing is based on stages. Now, I go back to the stages. Students, they skip the first stage, which is brainstorming and organizing. They skip the first draft. They skip the editing. And they move to what? To the final draft. To number 5. Students, they start with number 5. They write directly. If you monitor exams, you will see they do comprehension, they do language, and once there is writing, they start writing from the very beginning. No, that's why students find it challenging, because writing is a kind of a process. It's like a process, step by step. Okay, is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any question, any comments about the stages?
I have a question, if you can enlighten me, concerning exchanging papers between by the student in the classroom. Doesn't this matter will provide some kind of problems? Because when I was a student myself, when I get corrected by someone, I hate him for the next of the semester till I become a born person. But doesn't this will, I mean, cause this some kinds of problem, or we're just going to tell them that mistakes are provided by any, but till now I couldn't find sincerely a good solution for this.
Thank you. Great. Now, your job as a teacher from the very beginning is to create a positive learning environment. How to create a positive learning environment, which means students should believe in collaboration. They work together, they collaborate, and they have to correct each other. But don't correct each other to make fun. Don't correct each other to hurt the feel of the others, but we are correcting each other for one common goal, to learn together. So from the very beginning, when I meet my learners, we set up what we call the code of conduct. We correct each other for learning. We collaborate for learning. We help each other for learning. So please, from the very beginning, you have to teach them these global values. Because later, if a student says, no, teacher, I don't want this or Muhammad or Layla or Jamila to correct me. So, listen, remember in the beginning of the school year, we have got the conduct. Remember this one? So we correct each other. But here, it's something very interesting, which is when they have to correct each other, tell them just to underline, not to correct, just to underline, to highlight where the mistake is. And this is very helpful. Okay, is it clear so far?
Yes,
I
it is
hope that
clear
my
for me.
question is
Yes, you answered my question. Thank you.
yeah, great. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, it happens in your classes. Students, they don't like each other, they don't like to correct each other, but your job is to create a positive learning environment. We learn from each other. It's okay to be correct from your teacher or your partner, no problem. Great. So let me clean this one. Yeah, by the way, for editing, you have two choices. You can correct yourself, and then they have to exchange or correct each other, or you can skip it. Don't correct yourself. Give your product to the other one to correct, and the other one will give you his or her product for correction. Okay. Yes, by the way, you can have many names about stages. Some they call them, brainstorming, number 1, number 2, planning, number 3, first draft, number 4 is editing, number 5 is proofreading, and number 6 is final draft. Some they call them like this, okay? Planning, first draft, editing, etc. But all of them have got the same function. Great, so let's move on to the next slide. Just one second. You see my screen again?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes, so this is what we talked about. All right, good. Just 1 second. Yeah, this is a topic, right, about your day, my day, and you are teaching children, beginners. Now, this activity number 1, what's the word? Write the word under the pictures. Is it brainstorming? Is it, is it the first draft? Or, is it planning, number 1? Or first draft? Or editing? Or proofreading? Or the final draft? What do you think, this one?
Brainstorming.
Yes, so it is planning.
It's planning, yes.
Yeah, because you have to provide your learners with some keywords they need. So write the word, because here you are teaching beginners and they are children, young learners. So my day, what's the word? Write the word under the pictures. You can put them again in groups or in pairs, and they have to write. Have breakfast. Television, which one? So number 1, what do you think about, let's do it all together. Number 1, play the role of the young learner. Number 1.
Garden.
Garden. Garden.
Garden. You agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So since they do like this, they write here
Walk.
garden or park. What do you say? So garden. Good. Now picture number 2 is have breakfast. Picture number 3.
Sleep.
Sleep. Good. Picture number 4.
Have dinner.
Have dinner. So now are teaching children. You
Maybe
go
have
slowly.
lunch.
Or
It's
lunch
have
or
lunch.
dinner?
The same. Lunch because
It's
the other
12.
one it's dinner.
Thank you.
There is a clock behind
Yeah,
us.
by the way, girls are better than boys when it comes to observing things. There is a research. So
Yes,
Muhammad said, have dinner. Me too, I thought it's dinner. But I guess Shayma or Aman, I don't know who.
the clock.
Yes. Good, thank you. Have
Girls, pay attention to details.
to details, thank you. Even in teaching, oh my God.
Yes.
Wonderful. So have lunch. Muhammad, be careful.
No,
What you say?
just student also they make these mistakes, but as a teacher you maybe you don't refuse their answers from the first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, the
No.
next picture. Thanks,
Television.
Muhammad. Television, great. Oh my God, what's this? Television, great. Next.
Walk.
Walk. Walk. Repeat. Walk.
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 No. Walk. No L. Walk.
Walk.
Great. So
Walk.
you are teaching
Walk.
vocab, but at the same time pronunciation. The last one, before the last one, is
Sofa.
it's not sofa. It's sofa.
It's sofa.
No, I'm just
Sofa.
yeah, play the role of the learner. I mean, the young learner. Say,
Yes.
No, it's not sofa. It's sofa. Okay, sofa. Okay. So you teach pronunciation. Okay, great. Drilling. The last one is
Dinner.
yes. Have dinner. Good. Yeah. So here we have our learners to have some words to use when they talk about their days. Good. Now they have to start with what? So this is my day. Now they have got some vocab: garden, breakfast, sleep, have lunch. Okay. The next
We have to start with breakfast.
Yeah. So here, great. So here you can help because they are children. You have to facilitate the learning process. So here you can do like this. So we finished with stage number 1. So stage number 1 was about planning, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, stage number 2, the teacher should facilitate. It's the first draft. So you can do like this. In the morning, sorry. In the morning, good. And they have to continue. In the afternoon, and in the
Night or evening.
evening. Good. Great. And they have to do what? To write. To write just short sentences. In the morning, I eat breakfast and I go to school. In the afternoon, I have my lunch and I take some rest. In the evening, I have my dinner and I go to sleep. Because they are young learners, they are beginners. Great. So, planning. But for me, it's better between planning and the first draft. We call it modeling. It's a technique. Please remember, modeling. To model. How? You can start with an example. In the morning, I get up early. After that, I have my breakfast.
I think you're not a morning person, sir. You misspelled the word. You misspelled the word morning like twice.
Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. Great. So more. Thank you. Is correct now?
No.
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
The I. There is an I. There's the I with
There's
the
just a
yes.
double NE.
It's correct now?
Morning.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, good. And for the second one, there's a problem again. Yeah. Here.
Just erase ing. Yes.
Thank you. And here there's a problem with more. Oh my God, I deleted everything. Anyway, good. Yes. So to model is the best because they may not understand. So to model. To model it means to give them an example. So in the morning, I get
up.
I get up early. Okay.
Early.
After
Early.
that, I go to school. Great. This is to model. After that, then they have to move to the second stage. What is the second stage? Is first
draft.
First draft. Good. For draft change. So first draft. So here you can help them to start like this. In the morning, okay. In the afternoon, they have just write some sentences. In the afternoon.
The afternoon.
Okay. And in the evening, correct? Evening,
in the
etc.
afternoon.
Great. In the afternoon, sorry for afternoon. Great. Now they have to write just simple sentences because we give them what? Breakfast, garden, walk, television, etc. So they write sentences. What's the third stage? Remember?
Editing.
Editing. Good. So number 3 is editing. And here editing, again, you can tell them I want you now just to edit, just focus on capitalization because you taught them before about capitalization. So in the beginning, it's I, the pronoun I, names I, days capitalize, etc. Or they can swap, and at the end they can produce, or they can give you the final product. They can read it out loud, or they can submit it. Is it clear?
Yes.
So editing here.
Yes, teacher.
And number 4 is, yeah, we can say editing and proofreading. And number 4, or the first, the last one is the final draft. Final draft.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So clear so far?
Yes.
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 Great.
Yes.
Yes, and here is very important because you are teaching children. They may not know some words. It's good to use pictures because children love pictures. You use colors because children love colors. You use simple sentences and simple words because they are young learners. They are still kids. So look here, sofa, garden, television, have lunch, have dinner, sleep, walk, etc. Okay, good. And then they can produce sentences. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Look here, this is a Moroccan textbook. And now we are going to move to 2 types of writing. Writing as a process or writing as a product. So write as a process or writing as a product. My question, look here, film review. And the second one is our society in the past and present. Which one is process and which one is writing as a product? What do you think?
Can I answer, sir?
Yes, please.
The first one is a product, writing a product, and the second one is a process. Maybe.
Thank you. You agree with Saida?
Yes, sir. Like the
Yes.
film review is the product, and then the second one is the process.
Thank you. So look here, this is a film. Eye of the Eagle, directed by Peter, is a product. And look here, the product is not there. The product must be produced by who? The teacher or the student?
The
The
student.
students.
Yeah, it's here. Number 2, use the sentences to write a paragraph. And look here, the product is produced by who?
The teacher.
Thank you, the teacher. That's why we call this one is writing as a product. Because the teacher from the very beginning gave the model, the example, the product. And students' job is to imitate and to give one that is similar. Okay, but this one is the process. Now, another question. The writing that we wrote together about my day and about why do Moroccan students immigrate to Europe? Is it process or product? What do you think?
Product.
Product. You agree?
Yes.
Is it product or process?
I think it's a process.
Sir.
Thank you, Halima. It is a process because I didn't give them a paragraph to write about. There was no
Because
paragraph. There was no essay.
we've got
Yes, Umayma?
Because we've been through stages. So
Thank
it's there.
you.
It's a
Yes, we
process.
have been through some stages. I asked learners to brainstorm, process. After that, to organize, process. After that, to write, first draft, process. After that, to correct each other, process. After that, to revise again, process. And the last stage is the product, which is the final. draft. So it's a process. When we talk about writing as a product, from the very beginning, the teacher gives them an email. Look, this is an email. What is the date? What is the address? What is the signature? What is the introduction? It's a product. From the very beginning, you give them a film review. Read the film review. Who is the director? Who are the actors? What is the message? So this is a product, but the process is step by step, okay? Students, you push them to write and write and write by themselves, and at the end, they provide you with the product. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great. So let's move on to the
I
next
think
thing. Yeah.
I think writing as a product is like modeling, right? Right?
Yeah. Wonderful.
You're giving them examples.
Thank you. You give them a model. It can be an email, a letter, a book review, a film review, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next slide. Look here, process writing and product writing. Can someone read about process writing? Any volunteer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Shaimat?
Process writing text as a resource for comparison, ideas as starting point, more than one draft, more global, focus and purpose, theme, text type, reader is emphasized, collaborative, and emphasis on creative process.
Yes, so here is text. Ideas are, we start with ideas, brainstorming. More than one draft, the first draft. You're correct. You write again, then you provide the final one. And it's collaborative, basically. You work together, okay? Good. The next one, yeah, any volunteer? Product writing. Yes,
May I share?
Saida.
Can I? Okay.
Product writing, imitate model text, organization of ideas more important than ideas themselves. One draft features highlighted, including controlled practice of those features, individual, emphasize on end product.
Yes, so the emphasis on the end product. Good. Here, as Umayma said, you give a model and students imitate. Organization of ideas, more important than ideas themselves. Okay, good. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Good. Now, let's practice again. Match this one. Writing sub skills using a model. B, drafting. C, peer of evaluation. You evaluate each other. Or redrafting, you write again. So what the writer does, number one, I start writing, developing my main points. Is A, B, C, or D? Number two, I reorganize what I have written to make my ideas clearer. Is A, B, or C, D? Number three, I give work to someone else to ask for his or her opinion. 2 minutes. Yes, you match. All right, so any volunteer, number one, what do you think?
Can I answer?
Yes.
I think I start writing, developing my main points. I think using a model.
You agree?
And drafting at the same time.
And redrafting.
I guess it's drafting.
Yeah, so I
It's
start writing.
Yes, I agree. I think it's drafting.
It's a drafting B.
Okay, thank you. So number one is drafting, because I start writing, developing my main point is drafting in the beginning. So it's so B is number one. Good. Another volunteer.
Can I, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Abdulkarim.
I reorganize what I have written to make my ideas clearer. So it's redrafting, I guess.
Correct?
Yes.
You
Yes.
agree?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it's number two. Yes, number three.
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
It's peer evaluation.
Can you read the sentence?
Okay, I give work to someone else to ask for his or her opinion. So it's peer evaluation.
You agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes.
it's a kind of correcting each other. Okay. So number three. What about using a model? What does it mean?
Is when teacher gives a model like a written, I don't know, a written paragraph or
Example.
an essay. Yeah, an example.
Good. For example, you want to teach students how to write a paragraph about making a list or putting things into order. And from the very beginning, you give them a paragraph about how to make Moroccan tea. How to make a Moroccan tea. Number one, first, second, third. So you give them a paragraph. This is using a model. And after that, you ask them the same question. How do you prepare for a Moroccan omelette? And you provide students with the vocab, with words, etc. So when you give them a paragraph, a text, an email, a letter, it's a model. It's a sample for students to notice, to observe the organization, the components, the structure of that. Okay, great. So, just 1 second. Good. Now, let's reflect on these teachers' comments. Which do you agree? Why? Why not? Any volunteer to read, then we can call it a day. Any volunteer?
Can I?
Wafa number one, Ines number two, Muhammad Bizri number three.
Yes.
Wafa.
Yes, I will try to read. So I did not get the question. Can you please just emphasize on it?
Yeah, just you read the first.
Okay, I will read. So whenever I teach a writing, I usually focus more on accuracy than on communication ideas.
Good. Number two.
Me or somebody else?
No, somebody
I
else.
rarely do writing because my students find it boring.
Number three.
Teaching writing is so hard because students find it hard as well.
Good. So can you remember these? Can you remember these teachers' points?
Yes, we can remember.
You can take a picture because I'm going to put you in groups. 5 minutes to reflect, then we discuss all together. Okay. So number one, you
all
focus
right.
on. Okay. Shall I put you in groups or not yet?
Yes, okay.
So try to remember these. Okay. So we have Bisri Muhammad, Halima Wafa, group 1, Shaima Saida, Ines, group 2, Abdul Karim, Umayma Amal, group 3. Join the group, yeah. And reflect on these teachers' point of views about writing. All right. All right, thank you. So again, I enjoyed listening to all the groups. And what is interesting about all of you, that the majority said, I don't agree with any teacher, because the majority, I mean, the 3 teachers have got negative point of views about writing. Whenever I teach writing, I usually focus more on accuracy than on communication ideas. No way. The best and the most effective way of teaching writing, fluency, accuracy as a process, as a product, variety again is the best of the best. Number 2, I rarely do writing because my students find it boring. Some of you said, yeah, why they find it boring? Because you as a teacher, your way of teaching is boring. Yeah, you have to design very interesting communicative activities for writing. You have to know how to process writing. You have to know how to encourage your learners to start with brainstorming, organizing ideas, first draft, putting them in groups, correct each other, etc. Number 3, teaching writing is so hard because students find it hard as well. Yes, it's hard, but it's possible. It's not impossible. You can provide them with connectors, help them know how to connect sentences, help them about the techniques, about the first stage, the second, the third, etc. Put them in groups to help each other, create a positive learning environment, assign some tasks outside the classroom, which means homework to do outside the classroom. These ways we can encourage learners, give them a sample, okay, start with product writing, because it's somehow easier for beginners to just imitate and complete. Okay, is it clear so far?
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Question?
For concerning the next session, I mean, what time? Maybe this week the assignment. I mean the program.
No, all the time we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for your interaction, your motivation, your very interesting comments, feedback, and your sense of collaboration with each other. Yes, and of course, I have learned so many interesting things about you. I mean, about your ideas you discussed with me and your questions. So if there are no questions, we can call it a day and see you next week.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, everybody. Have a pleasant.
Thank you. Have a good next.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Enjoy and be safe. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.